Hi everyone, welcome to Reflections from the Prayer Recollection. I may look like I'm alone tonight, but I'm not, because Anna's going to join me in a minute. We are on a super power mode to try to get to bed early. This is our second night in a row. We did great last night, so we're going to do it again tonight. And part of our power mode plan, last night we didn't get to go for our nightly walk, so this is a crazy plan tonight, God bless us. Is that we're going to I'm going to read right now. Anna's eating her evening snack and putting on her shoes and her reflective vest. We don't need a reflective vest. Look how bright it is out. Normally we are walking much later when we're not going to bed early. So anyways, putting on her shoes and I suppose her vest. And I'm going to read you the verse while she does that. Then we're going to take the notes with us and we're going to walk and talk with you while we walk. So we'll see how it goes, people. Here we go. Here's our reading. So today is July 8th, 2020. We're reading from Luke 6:60 through 70. Many of his disciples said, "This is very hard to understand." Let me just pause and say, if you didn't hear or read the vlog section from yesterday, it was the section where Jesus is saying that we need to eat his flesh and drink his blood, and that is how we will have eternal life. Many of his disciples said, "This is very hard to understand. How can anyone accept it?" Jesus was aware that his disciples were complaining, so he said to them, "Does this offend you? Then what will you think if you see the Son of Man ascend to heaven again? The Spirit alone gives eternal life. Human effort accomplishes nothing. And the very words I have spoken to you are spirit and life. But some of you do not believe me." For Jesus knew from the beginning which ones didn't believe, and he knew who would betray him. Then he said, "This is why I said that people can't come to me unless the Father gives them to me." At this point, many of his disciples turned away and deserted him. Then Jesus turned to the 12 and said, "Are you going to leave?" Simon Peter replied, "Lord, to whom would we go? You have the words that give eternal life. We believe, and we know that you are the Holy One of God." Then Jesus said, "I chose the 12 of you, but one is a devil." He was speaking of Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, one of the 12 who would later betray him. All right, time for a walk. Okay, buddy. Here we go. We're en route.
Where's Chloe with us?
We've got Chloe, we've got Anna, and we've got me. Michael couldn't come because he's downloading our behind-the-scenes vlog. You want to do the holding?
If you guys ever even see that.
You probably won't ever see that.
Maybe if we make a Patreon.
Yeah, Patreons.
If you got patrons, if you guys subscribe to us on Patreon and pay us money, you can see me being angry at Jesus.
Chloe, come snuggle with us. Come walk with us.
And theorizing.
Yeah. Where's my Chloe?
I don't know if that's worth money. I don't think that's worth money.
Get my Chloe in the picture. I want a shot of good Chloe here. Good shot of Chloe. That's a good shot right there. Okay, here we go.
It's hot.
Chloe, you can jump in at any point. It is super hot, you guys. It's like 90 degrees.
Double thumbs down.
It's
I
already...
should wear my shorts.
Yeah. Show some leg, Anna.
I'm showing some leg.
Okay, we're going. Are we ready? We're going. Many of his disciples said this is very hard to understand.
I was wearing my other shorts. You take this.
We're not leaving without you.
Hi. It's me.
Your favorite vlogger. Okay, take 3. Here we go. Take 4. I don't even know what take we're on. We got us all. See us all? There's your favorite vlogger.
That was the side of Martha's head. I don't know what you think.
No, I had Chloe right there.
No, the thumbs down was the side of your head.
Oh.
That's your ears. Yeah.
Okay.
She has extendable ears.
So here's how we're better now. Anna's got short shorts on.
This is the worst day of my life. No.
She's having a day.
I thought yesterday was the worst.
She's also got a bag of burger and chips.
This is the one that's the
Beef.
worst.
Beef, people.
The worst one.
I'm telling you, if you're having a crisis, if you're having PMS, if you're having emotional breakdown.
Hey, we have men.
Men, if you're having a midlife crisis, emotional crisis,
bad feelings,
a hard day, depression, beef.
It'll cure
It's beef.
your depression.
That's good. Oh, that's a great lighting. You guys, this is going to be the best vlog we've ever made. Look at us.
What about the one where you were in the car and it went whoop, 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 whoop?
It's going to be even better than that.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is the real thing. Anna's got her water too. Always has her water.
My arms aren't long enough.
That's okay. You're so good, Chloe. You're so good. Hold it further down on the stick. It'll give you more reach. I should have bought. I had a little selfie stick at a garage sale. I should have bought it. Perfect. Look at that. You guys are so good.
Guys, imagine a gimbal, but it doesn't have a turning part. You just have to hold it, and it's fastened in place. It's just a stick with your phone on the end, like a tiny tripod. That's what we have.
I need some water.
Like a gimbal, but minus all the useless parts. I mean, minus all the useful parts. You don't have to water fountain it.
Ready for action.
Yeah.
Have a bite of beef. Beef it, Anna. Beef it.
Yeah, beef it, Anna.
Come on. Oh
Anna
my.
didn't want to beef it.
You shouldn't do your thing. Excuse me.
I didn't want to. Do it, Anna.
I didn't want to be excused.
Do it.
Excuse me.
There you go.
Many of his disciples said, "This is very hard to understand. How can anyone accept it?" Anyone want to comment on that?
They're so right. They kind of, yeah. That was hard to understand.
That's hard to understand. It's hard to understand, and if you did understand it,
It was
or
strange.
if you didn't
He
understand it,
seemed to phrase it in a purposefully confusing way. True.
uh-huh.
I don't blame him, honestly.
Now
For
here comes.
phrasing it, for saying this is hard to understand. Yeah.
Here it comes. Jesus was aware that his disciples were complaining.
Very smart.
Would you like to comment on that, Anna?
That's apparently a theme here. Is Jesus does not like complaining.
John 6. Jesus talks to the complainers.
Oh man.
So he said to them, "Does this offend you?"
Does it, Mama?
This is another verse that Anna's putting into her repertoire. You want to tell us all the verses you've got in your little repertoire?
But Jesus replied, "Do not complain about. Stop complaining about what I have said."
Uh-huh.
And Jesus was aware that his disciples were complaining, so he said, "Does this offend you?"
Uh-huh.
That's what.
We've got the one from Mary and Martha about,
Oh yeah.
but these are just details.
That one's in your repertoire.
Okay. Does this offend you? Then what will you think if you see the Son of Man ascend to heaven again?
We didn't understand this one for a while. Martha, you explain what this means.
Well, I don't know what it means, but I'll tell you
She has
a theory. This is my theory. My theory is that he's basically, okay, remember the last section he was saying, if you eat my flesh and if you drink my blood, because I am like the manna that God sent from heaven down to earth. If you eat me like manna and drink my blood like a Capri Sun,
No. That's just bad.
then you will, in the
You
last
drink
day, how does he say it?
You will be risen up on the last day.
You'll be risen up on the last day, to eternal life, on the last day. And they're like, this is kind of gross,
This is like
Jesus.
Martha, Anna, and the crucifix.
Chloe, you're the crucifix.
Sorry. Stop, Mom. You need to get closer to us. I can't see. I'll go behind because we don't really fit 3 wide on the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
I'll go slightly behind.
Well, then I have to get closer to Chloe.
Oh no.
Are you okay? Did that offend you?
You didn't even give me 1 foot of walking space.
Sorry, we're having a little trouble here. There, that's good, that's good.
I can't. Yeah.
What if,
It's okay. I don't need to.
You don't
Look
need
at
any
that bird on
camera.
that rock.
Oh, he's cool.
Okay. There's a bird just standing on the rock. He's like, oh, there he goes.
So my theory is they're saying, they're like kind of thinking about just the physical part, eating flesh, drinking blood, and they're like, that's kind of gross.
Kind of nasty.
Yeah. And then, but he's saying, okay, but if you see me ascend to heaven, then you'll know that I really did come from God.
Drink my blood. Came down from heaven.
Came down from heaven like the manna.
And I will go back up.
And I could take you with me. And is that going to change it when you see that I can go back up?
That's like, I brought you into this world, I can take you out of it.
I came down from heaven, and I can go back to heaven from where I came from.
I am not an earthling like you. I am.
Look at the backlighting.
Wait, we got some good lighting. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You look heavenly, Anna. You look like you came down from heaven.
I didn't.
Anyway, so that's the only theory I got on that.
I think that's a good theory. Okay, Chloe's so blocking me out.
Okay, now here we come. Here we come to the core verse. Everyone ready for the core verse?
This
Mom, get closer. I can't
is
see you.
Martha's core
Then I
verse,
blocked
but
her.
my core verse is.
Here.
But Jesus replied,
Okay.
"Stop complaining about what I have said."
Anna's just poking out in the back.
Does this offend you? Okay.
Hi.
The church has left the building. What does that mean? What's the green part say underneath? Anna doesn't have. You have glasses, Anna?
It says love.
What?
It says love.
No, there's something in the window.
Oh, I don't know. I can't see that.
Okay.
Hey, Anna, I can't see you.
We are not even going to make this by the time we finish our walk. That's no good. Okay. There you go. Chloe, you're really good at this job.
I have to keep changing my arm.
You should be a vlogger. You're like a
Maybe.
professional.
Maybe.
Look what you're doing for our lighting, too.
Maybe I'll join you. Maybe I'll join you.
Okay, you're so good. You be the cameraman. You'll be the.
I'm the cameraman.
What do you call
Hey.
the? What do you call
Just
the
'cause
camera?
she's good at it.
What do you call the guy who holds the camera? The grip.
box
The
boy.
grip. The grip.
Boom boy.
I think he's called the
Boom
grip.
Oh,
boy.
you're gonna be our
Okay.
key grip.
I'm the boom boy.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
We
something
need-
about the boy.
We need quiet respect for a moment. We're about to read the most important verse. Okay.
Sorry.
The Spirit alone gives eternal life. This is very important, people. The Spirit alone gives eternal life. Remember the last chapter? He said, eat my flesh, drink my blood, you will get eternal life. Now he's getting a little more explaining. The Spirit alone gives eternal life. Then he says, human effort accomplishes nothing. Okay, so you might be interested to know that one of my commentaries this afternoon said,
She has a lot of
I
commentary.
didn't have a lot of
Yeah,
commentaries
she's like
today.
10.
I have like 3. One of my commentaries said, in the original language, human effort actually would be most literally translated. Oh, there's Mr. Camarda. Hello! Good, how you doing? Would be most literally translated flesh. Okay, you got that, guys?
Think about that, guys.
Think about that, guys! Let that soak in. Flesh
What a grip.
accomplishes nothing. Okay, okay, okay.
He just said, eat my flesh. Eat
He
my
just said eat my flesh, and then he's saying Spirit
Okay.
alone gives life.
Oh,
Okay, now wait, it's gonna get. We're gonna take it to a new level. Taking it to a new level.
New level. New level. We're going on the elevator.
And the very words I have spoken to you are spirit and life. The words I have spoken to you are spirit and life.
Okay,
So,
let's
Anna,
think about this
make us
for a
the circle.
second. Here's the circle. At the top of the circle, you have
Okay, my arms are so tired.
You get
alone
strong.
gives life. A third of the way down the circle, you have flesh is nothing.
Get her.
Oh,
A
sorry.
third of the way around the circle, you have mice. What do you have? My words are spirit, and then you come back to
Spirit and life.
spirit and life, and then you come back to spirit is life. So his words are spirit, so his words are life.
Hello.
That is all.
That is all. Okay.
Okay, so
Come here, Mom.
we're tying it back here to the last section, okay? So this is where it gets kind of interesting. So he's in the last section. He says,
Eat my flesh.
"Eat my flesh, drink my blood, you'll get eternal life." Now he's saying that the Spirit alone gives eternal life. So now he's starting to tell us this is symbolic, and it's the Spirit, only the Spirit, that gives eternal life. So
Just cutting me out. You want me to walk over here? Okay, I'll walk in the street.
yeah, walking the street.
Is
So
this what you want from me? Listen to Martha. Listen to Martha.
Okay,
She's
okay,
making
okay.
good points.
I'm trying, but it's very evasive in the head, slipping away.
Okay, you got this.
Okay, thank
You
you.
got
got
to
it.
focus when
Here.
you're walking.
Yeah, it's a little harder to focus. You may get the feeling this
We
is
have some
disjointed.
nice loud action going.
It is
Oh.
disjointed.
Okay, back to the book. Back to the
Okay,
book. Sorry
so-
about disjointed.
So if you're going to eat his flesh and drink his blood, how do you do that? What is it about him? Okay, we know that the Spirit gives eternal life, which is what eating his flesh and blood gives you.
Does he hold this one, Mom? This one?
Sometimes. So what are you going to need to take in? What is it about him that is spirit and life? Anyone?
Tell us in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments, tell us.
Okay, it's his words. Spoiler alert.
It's his words. So take in his words now.
Say that in phones?
Yes, Chloe's exactly right. Psalms 1. Remember, we talked about this in our vlog. Was it yesterday, Anna?
It was yesterday.
That if you meditate on his words day and night, you will be like a tree planted by streams of water, and that you will prosper and do great in all seasons because
and
you're
you'll
always
drink-
by the
you'll
water.
drink the water.
You drink the water, which is his word. So you,
Flesh and blood.
speaking of that, have some more
Bring
flesh,
it
Hannah.
Full circle.
Right to
Oh,
where we were when we
yeah.
talked about this last time around.
Cow flesh.
We're making loops. We just finished our first one. We're hoping for 2.
Yay. Wow, we did a lap in 11 minutes. That's pretty good.
That's not so good. We did a half a mile in 11 minutes, people.
Oh, half mile. I thought it was a whole mile.
You guys
I was
tell
like,
us
I've
how
run
fast
it.
can you run a mile? Tell us in the comments down below.
We're slightly on the slow and distracted side. We got a couple of important things going at once, the vlog being the most important.
Yeah, and my arms are tired.
You got a good arm workout. Yes,
Yeah, I
Anna?
have to like
I
switch.
have the hardest, or maybe the second hardest job. Because I have to stay in the frame.
In the camera.
I have to stay in the frame and not step on your guys' heels.
And eat beef.
And eat the blood.
Eat the flesh. And drink the blood.
Yeah.
We're eating flesh and drinking blood too, though.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Oh, spiritually.
Okay, so I know that's pretty disjointed, and
The sun is really bright.
it may not have made a lot of sense. You may have to rewind and listen to that again.
Sun, Martha.
Okay, let's give them a view. Show them.
It won't look good.
Oh, it looks good. It looks real good.
There's the clouds. Hi, Mom.
And there's the Martha. Wow, we're a spectacle.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so now this is going to be a challenge. We're going to try
It's
it.
not praise you, Jesus.
What is it?
It's pray to Jesus.
Oh, I've sung that song that you wrote wrong all along.
Oh, no.
Good try.
Okay, now we're going to try something really out of the question, and that is we're going to try for a moment of meditation here.
Oh, no.
How about I take a camera, or Martha takes a camera, so me and Chloe are out of the frame.
Well, we're just going to have them pause.
Okay.
Does that work still?
We want
Hey,
them to
Martha.
focus on you while you're
Oh, okay. Like this?
No, Anna.
I'll be out here.
Okay, should I leave too? Bye.
I like you guys in this
We'll
question.
be over your shoulders.
Okay. Here's the question. We're going to go to the part of the verse that says, human effort accomplishes nothing. Okay, I'm going to give you an honest confession. Those of you familiar with the Enneagram, I'm a recovering 3, something I don't like to admit. But the verse, human effort accomplishes nothing, strikes pretty stinking close to home for me. Because my internal, unspoken, unarticulated mantra my whole life has been probably more like, human effort accomplishes almost anything. So, I'm going to give you a chance to reflect on that. It may have some significance to you, even if you're not a recovering 3. So, here we go. I'm going to give you a meditation question that you can then pause and meditate on if you'd like. Optional. This is it. What am I trying to accomplish through my efforts? Kind of an easy question. May seem like a hard to find a real answer, or maybe it's easy to find a real answer, but usually I think there's a real answer that's pretty deep. Well, for me it was. So, all right. If you would like, go ahead and pause and have a moment of meditation. The question is, what am I trying to accomplish through my efforts? Go ahead and pause. Welcome back. We have one follow-up question. This is it. My efforts accomplish nothing?
Okay. I have a
What does this mean? How might it mean more than I have realized? So if you want to, you can pause and think about that. How might this mean more than I've even realized? Welcome back. We're moving on. We're done with meditation moment.
We're smelling this leaf.
Yeah. You can smell it too. Here you go.
I'm gonna smell it too. What's
You
it smell
that
like?
scent? Put down below in the comments. What does it smell like?
World's
have
longest vlog.
Oh wow.
Hello.
Okay.
All right.
Get in here.
Anna, we need you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, there she is.
Need me.
We want you. We don't need you. We
We
want you.
love you.
I love you.
Okay.
And I love you.
But some of you do not believe me. For Jesus knew from the beginning which ones didn't believe, and he knew who would betray him.
Oh man.
Okay, anyone want to comment on that?
Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh. Then he said, that is why I said that people can't come to me unless the Father gives them to me. Ooh, this is tough.
Me and Martha were thinking about this.
We've thought and thought. Go, Anna.
Tell them what you originally thought you didn't like.
Well, what I don't like is that I feel like the implication is that it says, but some of you do not believe me, for Jesus knew from the beginning which ones didn't believe, and he knew who would betray him. Kind of a little hint at Judas here. It says, then he said, that is why I said people can't come to me unless the Father gives them to me. It kind of sounds like if they don't believe, it's because the Father didn't give them to him. And that feels like, that doesn't feel like free choice. That feels like God decided, that's so heavy in the predestination. In other words, your destination being predetermined by God, but it takes free choice completely out of the picture because God, they don't believe because God didn't give them to him. So I'm wrestling with that. I don't like that. It gets on further. But Anna, do you want to talk now, or should we read the next verses that kind of play into it?
I'll talk now.
Go.
So, you can have other people in it.
Okay, but it's a zoom in.
No, that's good. Zoom.
Okay, what I think of this is that it's not necessarily that if you're not with him, it's not that he didn't call you, it's that you can only come if he calls you. So, does that make sense?
No, so I think you need to say that again.
I can't. You know, you say it.
You're saying we come to him.
Stop putting it on my face. Sorry. No,
Don't be mean. Have some more face.
I don't want it anymore. I can't say it, and I stopped doing it on me.
Okay, take me. Now take me. Take me. I think what Anna was saying was something like, basically, we come to God, and then he calls us to Jesus. So, if we haven't responded to him and come to him, then he won't call us to Jesus. That was Anna's theory. But let me tell you, we're so confused.
No, we're not.
Okay, we're not confused. Anna's got a theory. I'm still a little confused. Put your thoughts in the comments, people. We want to get some good thoughts going. Put it out there. Okay. Let's see here. So this says, at this point, many of his disciples turned away and deserted him.
Oh, man.
Woo! You good?
I think I'm good.
Alright. We can hope. We can hope. Then Jesus turned to the 12 and said, are you also going to leave? So, just a little side comment. One of my commentaries today said that this is 2 years into Jesus' ministry, 1 year before his crucifixion. And so, these people who left him, the disciples who deserted, I keep saying deserted. The disciples who deserted him had been with him probably for quite a while, maybe up to a couple of years. And this is a pretty big deal that a lot of them took off and left, and we can't even exactly figure out why in the context. So again, we've thrown out some theories, but we're getting kind of long on the vlog, so if you have something, throw it in there. Anna, do you have anything you want to throw in there yet?
That's a big turning point because they've been with him for 2 years.
Yeah.
And something he said made them leave.
Right. Right.
They've heard all the other controversial things he said and still stayed with him.
I think it might have been the flesh and blood thing. To your point, Anna, that...
Oh, so long.
Oh, wow. That was incredibly obscure and also very provocative. And it might be a way of saying, are you willing to kind of release your mental blocks and let your mind receive a bigger thought, open up more. I didn't say that very well, but you get the idea.
It seems like he was intentionally confusing.
Yeah, don't step on that dead frog.
Yeah. Like he was trying to make them think he was saying something bad, even if he wasn't. That just seems like not a good thing to do.
Well, I think that he may be...
It's like saying words that almost sound like really bad words, so people are like, oh, but then they're like, oh, he didn't really mean it.
Right. But I think he might have been trying to see who really believes and who doesn't by putting something a little out there.
But that's not what he's trying to use, and he made it sound like he meant something he didn't.
Yeah. So you didn't like that.
No.
Okay, we're gonna close this up because we are almost to the front door.
It was so controversial that it made most of his disciples leave.
But if they were really with him,
it seems like
they wouldn't have
the
left.
people who stay with him are the people who are more okay with eating other people.
No, it's the people who
Horrible.
opened their mind and were able to see the deeper meaning.
Okay, but he did not even tell me the deeper meaning, and he intentionally made it sound like he was making them eat him.
Okay, guys, so put your thoughts in the comments below. We're going to close out because we are walking up to the front door. It
Please
says,
don't come to our house if we don't know you.
yeah.
I'm sure you could find it. Don't do that.
We already read that. Simon Peter replied, Lord, to whom would we go? You have the words that give eternal life. We believe and know you are the Holy One of God. Then Jesus said, I chose the 12 of you, but one is a devil. He was speaking of Judas Iscariot, son of Simon Iscariot, one of the 12 who would later betray him. There's Michael's voice. And on that note, we say put your comments in the comments below. How do you say that?
Put your thoughts in the
Comments below.
We praise
We praise
you,
you, Jesus.
Bye.